if missile which landed in Poland was an Ukrainian one, the really still Russia has to be blamed for it, because Russia is who is attacking Ukraine. We are used to it that Russia is attacking Ukraine with all possible means. Yesterday, a heavy attack was launched against all over Ukraine. More than 90 missiles were launched on the targets on all parts of Ukraine, and Ukrainian armed forces were trying to use their air defense properly. And if that missile which landed in Poland was an Ukrainian one, the really still Russia has to be blamed for it, because Russia is who is attacking Ukraine.
But it does make a difference, doesn't it, particularly to NATO countries' response, that this looks like it was an air defence misfire from Ukraine, not an attack on a NATO country, not an attack by an aggressor nation in Russia.
Yeah, for sure, it is different. I still am convinced that Poland needs to really do investigations and find out what exactly happened. It is possible nowadays to know where it was launched, what missile it was, what is the number of the missile, on production number of the missile, and then find out whether it was Ukrainian or Polish. But still, I think important is to understand that after yesterday's attacks, everybody in Europe must understand that we need to increase the support to Ukraine. And for sure, NATO has to really consider to beef up their air defense posture along the NATO's eastern borders.
Now, going back to your experience as a decorated military commander, can you explain it? Does a misfire like this, is this accidental? Does it point to the fact that perhaps Ukrainian, troops need better training on their air defences, or is it just one of those things?
Well, first of all, we don't know what it was. We have heard rumors and not really a declaration for the Polish government. The only thing Polish government said, it was an S-300 missile, and it is sure that if it was S-300 missile, it could have not been launched from the Russian or Belarusian territory. Now, as far as I know, the NASAMS systems which were provided from the NATO countries to Ukraine have been very successfully shooting down the missiles. S-300 is an old system, so a failure in this system is possible. So it can be that it was a failure of the missile or a miscalculation. But again, it's too early to talk about what it was, because the investigation is still ongoing.
Now, one of the things we spoke to a previous guest about, it was a journalist from Poland. He was saying that he wanted to see NATO countries move their own air defences out to places like Germany and up to the Polish border to help kind of buttress it and to send a signal. Is that something that you would welcome in Estonia as well, to have other NATO countries move some of their hardware onto your patch?
Well, the problem throughout the last decades was that no investments were made in the air defense. So the systems were available are normally 20, 30 years old, but still I'm sure that the proposal is valid, and we need to think how we beef up the air defense in the border with Russia. All the countries, Poland as much as Estonia, we are now investing heavily in air defense, but it takes several years to get these systems produced and fielded in our armed forces. So we need in this time a support from the NATO's countries. So I am sure that the possibility needs to be at least discussed at NATO, how we would increase the air defense posture along the NATO's eastern borders.